This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Recording in progress.
Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Baruch Haba. We have a short shtickle today. We're continuing Mishna Berura, Daf Hashavua. We're learning Siman Mem Ches. We begin Siman Mem Ches. Oimrim Parshas Hatamid. One should say the Parshas Hatamid, Upsuke Karban Shabbos, Oimrim Eitzel Parshas Hatamid. And the psukim of the Karban for Shabbos we say near the Parshas Hatamid. Says the Ramah. This is an interesting phenomenon that the Ramah is Haggah. Now it's interesting. Originally, when the Ramah published his work, he did not put it on the words of the Mechaber. Meaning, it was on the Mechaber, but it was like the Shach and the Taz or the Magen Avram. It wasn't on the page; it was on the side. It didn't say Haggah. It was a commentary on the side. But then the printers created this. So here you have a phenomenon where he's not commenting on what the Mechaber said. He's sort of commenting on the Koiseres of the heading, Oimrim Parshas Hatamid, V'oimrim Parshas Hatamid. The first thing you need to do is, you need to say Parshas Hatamid. V'yesh Oimrim Seder HaMa'aracha V'riboin Ho'elamim Atatz Yisanu. Some say, the Seder HaMa'aracha, I think that's Abaye Hava Oimer. Some say that. In other words, that's not a absolute requirement, but some say that. Some say that. Okay, that follows the a little bit after the Parshas Hatamid. If it's not possible to say it, but Tzibor, you could say it in your house. And just say again with the tzibur of the Parshas Hatamid. And the second time, have in mind that you're just reading the Torah. Why do you have to have that in mind? Because since saying karbanis is like you brought it, you can't bring it twice. Okay, says the Mishna Berura, Hatamid, v'hi b'mkoim hakravas karban hatamid. That's in lieu of the Parsha, bringing the Karban Tamid. By the way, of all the Karbanos, this one is the most required. One is, almost we could say one is obligated to say Parshas Hatamid. It's practically a Chiyuv. So if you don't say Karbanos, you should say this. The Shulchan Aruch Harav says, Noagu kol Yisrael v'kavu choiva al atzmam likroi Parshas Hatamid koydem atfilah. Even though the Shulchan Aruch in Siman Aleph Siv Tes is mashmitz a minhag. Do you remember that? The Mechaber in Siman Aleph Siv Tes, he says yesh noyagin to say the Parshas Hatamid. Nevertheless, it's karov l'chiyuv. In the Orchos Yosher, Reb Chaim Kanievsky says it is a chiyuv. Are women chayiv to say karbanos? Yes. Okay. For Sfardim, they might not have to say psuke de zimra, but they do have to say karbanos. We had that. In the Bir Halacha yesterday. We on the first line, the chayavis loimer parshas hakarbanos, kamash chayavis betfila. Now the question is, what about before Mincha? There's a Tamid Shel Shachar, there's a Tamid Shel Ben Abayim. So the Ramah says in Siman Reish Lamed Daled, some say that it's a custom, but why was it not as widespread as by Shachris? The Makar Chaim says that because the Navi Yecheskel says that La'asid Lavai, we won't bring the Tamid Shel Ben Harabayim, and therefore it's not the same Chiyav as the Tamid Shel Shachar. Very interesting. Anyway, the Mishna Berura continues. Shekain kiblu Chazal. Chazal have a tradition. Shebizman she'en Beis Hamikdash kayam, when the temple is not standing, ve'en yicham lahakriv karbanos, you can't be mad karbanos. Misha oisek behen, one who is involved in them, will be Parsha osehen, and then their Parshas mala olav hakasav kilu akrivam. The Torah considers it as if you brought it. Ulekach yesh oimrim gamkin seder hama'aracha mitam zeh. Therefore, some say Also, the arrangement of the wood. So there's the Tamid, and then beyond that, the Abaye have Masadar. Venerally, Pasha, Demi Sheyadeh Sefer, someone who knows how to learn, Mitzvah Lilmoid Bagamara Parsha Memrazot. It's a mitzvah to learn in the Gemara the explanation of this teaching of Abaye Hava Masadar. Likewise, what we say every day regarding the making of the Ketores. By the way, the Zayar, the Dirshu quote says in Vayakel, the son who says the Ketores will be saved from Dvarim Ra'im, whom we call Pegara, Mehira, Midinra, Umimaves, will not be damaged the whole day. If you're mechavein, kedei sheyavin mashu aimer, you should understand what you're saying. By understanding what you're saying, the recitation will be considered in lieu of the offering. V'chein kasu hasvarim. Likewise, the books tell us, the Masha Amar HaGemara, Kal HaOisek b'Parshas Oila, when the Gemara says anyone who is engaged in the Parsha of the Oila, it's like he brought in Oila, HaKavana, the Kavana is, Shehu Misasek Lahavin in Yaneha, that they're involved in understanding its subject. Lo Yamiras HaTevas Levad, not just saying the words. Kasav HaMagen Avram, the Magen Avram writes, Parshas HaKarbonos, Yomer Ba'amida, the Parsha comes, you should say standing. Dugmas HaKarbonos Shai Ba'amida, similar to the way karbanos were brought, which was in a standing position. Look in the Shari Tshuva in the name of many Achronim who argues on this. Parshas Hatamid, Roi Lamoid. At least for the Parshas Hatamid, it is appropriate to stand. That they would read it publicly out loud. So at least for the Parshas Hatamid, one should stand. Rabbi said we're actually going to hold it over here today. Have a good day, everyone. On Monday we'll finish up Siman Memches, and I wish you a wonderful day. Bracha v'atzlacha. Kol tov.
You said yesterday, I think you see it.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.